this is Liz from A Lizard Reads, and I'm so excited to be here filming another video with you guys. I'm so grateful for you watching, and I'm excited to share what I plan on reading here in January 2020. Oh my goodness, it's throwing me off. While the rest of you are trying to adjust to 2020, I am totally down with 2020. I can write that on a calendar easy peasy. It's the whole January thing. I don't know why. Now you know. How about that for an intro? But anyway, okay, so this year I set a goal of reading 100 books on Goodreads. Last year I did the same thing and I only got to 89. With doing 100 books this year, that means I need to read 8 books. So I'm setting the goal for 8 because then if I find one that's great and it has a sequel, I can just throw that in there too. Because I like to continue the story. I'm not going to read one and then like wait to read the sequels until much later. I'm going to read the whole shebang. So, and that can be intimidating with those really, really long books. A book that big. Anyway, so let's talk about the books I'm going to read. The first book I'm going to read is Hello Universe by Erin Entrada Kelly. It's for my book club that I'm reading at. We meet at the beginning of every month, and I wasn't really I didn't know much about it. So I've actually already started it. I started listening to it last night, tried to go to sleep. Couldn't because it was so good. So I've been listening to it all day while we cleaned our house and while we did chores and things like that. It's a beautiful story about 4 kids, and they tell the story from all 4 personalities, and so I'm really excited to see how it ends now that I'm about 3/4 of the way through. And where I'm at right now, it's kind of like, oh, this is sad. I hope they find him, because the book I read before was a sad story about how they didn't find somebody and they died. So I keep on trying to remind myself that this is I think maybe 8th, 7th grade level book, but it's very good. The characters are amazing, and I've actually heard that about this author, and I'm seeing 4 absolutely different personalities, 4 absolutely different perspectives, issues, life challenges, and they're all tying together sweetly. And so it's really exciting, and I really recommend this book if you want something sweet and it can grab your attention, because that's what it's definitely doing for me. Book number 2 is The Fiery Cross by Diana Gabaldon. This is the 5th book. Yeah, the 5th book in the Outlander series. I have been trying to finish this book for forever. Of course, with all the Outlander books, they are huge. They're very long. On Audible, they're about 48 to 60 hours long, which is a long time. I just work on it a little here and there because sometimes I just can't commit myself to that long. And this book has drawn on a long time, which I've heard from other people, because I talk a lot about what I'm reading with people, and I've heard that this book is one of the ones that it just takes forever to get through. I'm enjoying this story. I love Roger, I love Jamie, I love Claire, and I absolutely love Brianna. She's one of my favorite characters. I love the TV show. It's beautifully done. And the show is now caught up with the books I've read. I read to book number 4, and they just finished season 4 earlier in 2019. So I'm trying to finish book 5. So when season 5 comes out, I can go in with a little bit of knowledge about what's going on. Even though season 4 of the show and book 4 completely finished totally different. I mean, there's a character who's dead in the books, who's alive in the shows. I'm very happy he's alive. Very happy. Cried like a baby when I saw him. But still, there's obviously going to be some different storylines between the two. But I love being able to know it, because when I'm watching the show, when they obviously have to condense a little, I'm able to enjoy it and feel the feelings. If you haven't read the Outlander books, I recommend them. They're really great. I love this story. I love how much history she puts into it. She's very educated with her writing. Book number 3 that I want to read is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think I got that right. Yeah, Erin Morgenstern. This book I have never read. I started it when my daughter was a baby, and that was 7 years ago. So I just haven't gone back. And I've heard amazing things about it. I heard my family talk about how excited they are for the sequel. And so I figure it's time I need to read it so I can be ready to read the sequel. And I'm going to kick myself if I love it, because I would have missed out on enjoying this 7 years ago. But I'm excited to try it. I don't know much about the story except for there's a circus that only comes at night. And that's about it. But I'm excited because I think it would be a book I like. Every time I see like recommendations for books and it's like, if you're a Harry Potter lover, you'll love this, it's always on there. So I'm excited to see what that can come and bring and what's gonna happen, you know? You never know. So I'm excited to see that. And if I can say excited like 10 more times, I think that will be awesome. You came here, right, to watch me say excited 50 million times? I need a new word. Okay, book 4 that I want to read is I See London, I See France by Sarah Malowski. I can't say that word anymore. I am very interested to read this book because one of the very first books that I remember just being able to like sit and read, because like I explained in my first video, I am very dyslexic, and so it was really hard for me to actually sit and read books for the first forever. I think I was about 14 when I first read a book, not like Junie B. Jones, and that was Sarah Malowski's book, Bras and Broomsticks. It's kind of embarrassing, but it was a great read. I read that one and then the sequel, and then I waited patiently for the third book to come out, and it was one that I was able to then share with one of my sister-in-laws who loves to read, and she absolutely loved that series as well. So I'm excited to see another book. This is a young adult book, and that's about all I know about it. So I'm excited to see what she puts together, because I know she likes to write fun, youthful stories, and I'm excited. I love France. I like London, so maybe she'll talk about both of those, and I can see that experience from her point of view. Okay, book number 5 is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I'm trying to get that straight. It was going to end up being Evelyn Turton by Stuart Hardcastle, but instead I got it right. So I'm excited to read this read. It's different from the other ones. It's a little more of a mystery. It reminds me a lot of the movie Happy Death Day, I think is what it is. That one where the girl dies every day and then she wakes up and it's like Groundhog's Day and she's gonna die again and she has to figure out what's going on. It's pretty much that. This guy is trying to help stop the death of Evelyn Hardcastle because she keeps on dying, and so he's gonna figure out why and how to help. And so I'm really interested to see what goes on there, and I have slightly breached into the more mystery-ish genre of books, and the ones that keep you like on the edge of your feet or your seat, you know, either one. It works. I've heard it both ways. And I'm excited to see what they put together, and I've never read a book by this author before, so I'm excited to see if he's an author I love and if he has other books I can read if I enjoy this book. So we'll go from there and see what we can find. Book number 6 is Geek Guerrilla by Ashley Poston. I'm excited to read this book. I know, I've given in. I'm just saying excited now. I'm excited to read this book because it's geeky, and I love that. I love that the culture of today's society has changed. That being a geek isn't horrible. Being a geek isn't bad anymore. I don't know when that happened. Sometime after I left high school, because when I was still in high school way back when, it was still horrible to be a geek. And I'll watch some of those shows that I loved so much, or mainly it's movies, and you'll see the geek being picked on, and you know, it's like a horrible thing. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for the world we're in now where it's okay. You're okay to be a geek. You're okay to, not even okay, it's great. Be a geek. Watch a lot of anime, read a lot of comic books, talk about books, and all that kind of thing. And I love that. And so I love when there's great books that celebrate that. Or when there's shows like Big Bang Theory, that was the greatest thing ever because they were a bunch of geeks. I'm interested to see where it goes. It looks like a really good story. I've seen a lot of great reviews on it, and hopefully I fall in love with this author and her storytelling, because then I can go and read the sequel, and then she has a bunch of other series too that I can try to read. And that's exciting because I love when I find an amazing author that I can look forward to all their other books, or I can look forward to supporting them in the future when their next books come out. So I'm really excited for that. And yeah. Book number 7 is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This book reminds me a lot of the premise of Bras and Broomsticks by Sarah Melansky that I talked about just a little bit ago. It's about 2 sisters, one of which is waiting patiently for her magical talent, I guess, to kick in because her twin sisters has already kicked in. And so I think it's just going to be a coming of age sweet story about that. And I'm excited to see where it goes. That's all I know about it. But I'm really excited to see where it goes. That was a lot of what Bras and Broomsticks was about, and I'll stop talking about it, but it was a great book. And so I'm excited to see these other books. And I love when they bring back memories of other books, because I'm the kind of person I can kind of remember everything I've read, or a little bit of it. There was a book once that I read once, and I got it from the library, and I couldn't remember the title, but I could remember the cover very vividly. I could remember that it had 2 authors, and I could remember all the details of it. But I couldn't remember the title or the author's names. And so I tried Googling it for years. I'd type like everything I could, and I'd use all the Google tips, and I never found it. And then one day I was at like this thrift store, and I found it, and I bought it, and I was like, ah! And nobody understood how excited I was. But I was so excited because it was a book that I had loved the first time I read it. And I wanted to read it again, but the library had gotten rid of it because probably I was the only one who checked it out. And I still have it in my bookcase, and I still look at it every time. And I'm like, I looked for you for years, and you miraculously showed up. And I still enjoy reading it every once in a while. So it's just little things like that that I love, that you can read a synopsis of a book and be like, ooh, that sounds like another book I loved. And I think I'm going to try it because I liked that idea. I liked that premise. And I want to see what another author can do with the same story. Book 8 is His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. I don't know much about this book except for the fact that I wanted something a little different. I was looking at my lineup and thinking that's a lot of girly love stories and not very much fantasy going on in there except for the magic part. And so I wanted something different. And this book really called out to me. I don't know. It reminds me a little of Aragorn, I feel like. And I am interested to see where it goes. It's got dragons. Who doesn't hate dragons? Did I say that right? Who doesn't hate dragons? Who doesn't love dragons? That's what I meant. Yeah. Who doesn't love dragons? And it looks like they can either be bred for size or speed, is what I'm seeing on the Goodreads page. So I'm excited to see where that goes and see what this series turns into. And we'll see if it ends up being something I love or something I'm not so in love with. But it's fantasy, and a lot of the books they bring up that other readers love is the Bear and the Nightingale series, which I read last year and I fell absolutely head over heels for. So I'm excited to see where it goes and go from there. So yeah. So those are the 8 books that I'm looking forward to reading in January. A lot of them have a sequel, so that will be nice because then I might be able to bump in another one and start the year off strong towards getting my 100 so that I can enjoy things. And maybe I need to plan like a couple road trips throughout the year so I can add extra time because I always listen to audiobooks like crazy when I'm driving. So, and hopefully, I didn't look into this at all. Hopefully they all have an Audible version, or I'll have to read it with my eyes. And that will definitely slow things down because I am a very slow reader when I use my eyeballs. but it's all good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are excited to see what these books turned out to be. And if you've read these books before, leave a comment below and tell me what to look forward to. No spoilers, but give me more info. I love it. I love talking about books with other people. You can come over to my Instagram page. I will post stories and pictures of me reading these books and my impressions through going through them. And so I'm so excited to share this journey with you guys and get reading. Yeah. So if you need me, I'll be off doing dishes and listening to Hello Universe some more because I've got to figure out what happens. And I hope you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and come over and follow me on Instagram. Okay? Bye. Have a great day.